Hey, how's it going everyone? I'm Martin and welcome back. So today we have some pretty big spoilers for Destiny 2. Since the beta went live for PC, some people have been able to data mine the game and look through some of the game files. It's not the full game files as far as I'm aware, but it was what was included with the beta version of the game. And this includes a bunch of audio files that people have found that contain some pretty big spoilers. So if you're trying to stay spoiler free, fair warning, I do not recommend watching this video. So, like I said, a bunch of audio files were dug up, there's thousands in fact, but a lot of them were just random in-game sound effects. But there was also some dialogue in there, some really interesting stuff that has been found. So, starting off with this post from Reddit user Jinser and a bunch of Reddit users which have also contributed to this post. So, Trials of the Nine is confirmed to be the name of the new Trials mode in Destiny 2, and it's voiced by a mysterious female character who is an emissary of the Nine, similar to Zure, and according to the Reddit post, there are about 50 different files of the female voice saying Judgment. So I'm wondering if this is perhaps the new name of the game mode in Trials, or if it has some kind of other meaning. But it sounds like the purpose of the Trials of the Nine is to prove ourselves to the Nine. It sounds like they're supposed to be watching over us and judging us as we play, because we have some voice lines such as this: "Whoever wins this wins the favour of the Nine, and the objective is yours. The Nine watch you with interest." On top of that, the female voice makes direct references to the third subclass and calls out whichever subclass you're using, saying things such as, "You're a hunter, I'm guessing Night Stalker," as well as the same voice line but for the other subclasses Stormcaller and Sunbreaker. We already knew these subclasses would be returning from the gameplay that has been released over the past few days, but here is just yet further confirmation. There's also an audio clip of a character saying, "Okay, hear me out, what if Oryx isn't dead?" And to be honest, this isn't a crazy question. Without getting too deep into lore theories, it is possible that Oryx is in fact still alive in some form or another, despite killing Oryx in his throne world. We did see his corpse float off towards Saturn at the end of the raid, and as we know, we'll be visiting Titan, one of the moons of Saturn, in Destiny 2, and that's also where a population of Hive is located, so maybe something's going on there. Then we have some other details here from Reddit user JP Deathblade. So there's a few voice lines of people talking about a new tower, and there's a line from Hawthorne talking about the view from up here. So maybe once we reclaim the city, we move into a new social space, a new tower, since the previous one got destroyed. Now this is a possibility since our tower wasn't the only one. There are multiple towers located along the walls of the city. And there's even some dialogue of Hawthorne talking to her pet bird, Lewis, saying, "Are you judging me for selling out and leaving the farm to move back into the city?" Moving on, Cade also loses his arm. Now, I actually kind of pointed this out in one of my previous videos a while back, analysing all the things that you may have missed from the reveal trailers, although instead of his arm, I said he lost his foot, because there was one scene with him in the background kind of laid out on the floor just after we lose our light, and it looks like his foot had been blown off. But I guess it wasn't his foot, or perhaps this is a different part of the story, but either way, Cade loses his arm. Then we have this quote about the raid: "They are saying you flew into the sun to stop the Cabal. Is that true?" Now this sounds really interesting because, as we know, the Cabal are siphoning off our sun and trying to destroy it using the super weapon of theirs, and we've seen shots of Guardians standing beneath 2 stars, which could also be tied to the Leviathan that we've been hearing about in the raid, so I'm guessing we're going to be flying into the sun. We also get confirmation that Gaul is going to die, but it doesn't say exactly when. I guess this isn't really too much of a surprise or anything, we kind of knew that Gaul was going to die at some point, but there's confirmation here anyway. Then we learn that Master Rahul is still alive, so it turns out he didn't die in the attack, he somehow survived, along with the gunsmith Banshee 44 and the faction leaders. There's still no word from the Reef, so it doesn't seem like the Awoken will be making an appearance anytime soon, and there's also references to the Sparrow Racing League, such as people asking if SRL would return, people as in citizens of the city, and others talking about watching SRL on TV. Apparently the new sweeper bot is called Taka, a bit random but funny nonetheless. Now, moving on to another post from Reddit user Halo is Dead, we have some more really interesting info coming from the audio files. Firstly, it mentions an alliance with the Fallen, specifically during a conversation about how to flush the Hive out of Titan. Now, as we know from the Grimoire, there's possibilities and theories going around that we could be forming an alliance with the remaining Fallen at some point. Prince Uldren actually survived the battle between the Awoken and Oryx and was taken by the fallen House of Kings, and from what we've been told, it seems like he could now be the Kell over the House of Kings and leading them, and so hopefully we'll be seeing more of them in Destiny 2 and possibly form an alliance with them. Although the only slight problem with that is that we know Prince Uldren isn't exactly a big fan of Guardians. There's also a new character that we're going to meet called Sloane, who is apparently in charge of Titan, Saturn's moon, and this isn't the first time we've heard of her. She originally first appeared in the Grimoire and was even recently in the launch trailer for Destiny 2. She was talking in that trailer, and I believe we've already seen Sloane in one of the trailers. In one of the reveal trailers, there's a scene where Zavala slams his fist on his desk during a conversation between a hunter and a female Titan, and I'm guessing that Titan is Sloane. So I have a feeling Sloane is actually going to be an NPC that we'll meet on Titan, and she's going to be the one to give us quests and loot and such, just like how we'll meet Devram Kay in the European Dead Zone. Then there's some kind of audio file for a staticky voice talking about the Nine, Exos, Skolus, and the dead resting, so very mysterious stuff right there. But next we have yet some more very spoiler heavy stuff. So there's a new villain named Thuros, potentially the actual name of the console, or possibly someone after Gaul, someone in the Cabal chain of command. And what's more interesting is that supposedly the Traveller reawakens and kicks off a new golden age, and I'm guessing this is towards the end of the game. Now, I'm not sure if we do something that causes it to reawaken. Maybe this is once it's free from that device that's cutting off our light to the Traveller, or maybe it just awakens by its own will. But whatever the case, this is some very exciting stuff, and it'll be good to finally see the Traveller do something after sitting there this whole time. I wonder what this could mean for the future once the Traveller has awoken and could maybe actually do stuff and help us out. But let me know what you think of all of this in the comments. As always, I do hope that you enjoyed the video and found it informative. We're just 7 days away from launch now. Thank you all very much for watching, and I'll talk to you next time.